Hello everyone, welcome to William and the Magic Box. Today on our show, we are going to have Maarten. Maarten is from Brussels in Belgium. So let's see what Maarten has to say. Enjoy the interview. Yes,
Good.
now I can.
Got it.
So hello Maarten, how are you?
Hello, William. Good, good. I just came back from swimming, so my hair is still a bit wet, and but I made it on time for the not interview. I don't know, the conversation we're going to have here.
Absolutely. So
Yeah.
how was the swim?
Good, good. Just a short swim. I like it. I try to go once a week to. It's also kind of a stretching for the body, a little workout, and afterwards it feels good and relaxed, and also mentally, it's all somehow it freshens up the mind, and it gives you a lot of time during swimming even to think about some things. And sometimes the best ideas come up during swimming because there's nothing you can do. You can just swim and think. It's a bit boring, even I would say, but that's good for thinking.
You know what? You said something very interesting because when I'm running the gym, when I'm running, doing some exercise, even outdoors, for some reason, I keep thinking like what's happening in my life, and suddenly the ideas start come. And I had so many ideas on the show. Actually, the idea of the show, I was literally running the park one day in 2020, and suddenly this idea came along. So imagine how amazing. I understand. I
I
totally
think we can
understand.
better focus because at that moment we are just exercising our body, and our mind
Yeah.
somehow manages to focus. Because all the other time during the day I'm busy with so many things, sometimes even two, three things one at a time.
Uh-huh.
Um, Even when I'm doing something, I'm listening to a podcast or I'm listening to some music,
Yeah.
or but at that moment, sports, there's nothing else you can do. You can just do the exercise, and then sometimes some ideas pop up. It's great.
Martin, so tell me where are you from?
I am from Brussels, Belgium, and that's where I am right now. I'm at my home.
Wow, I've been in Brussels actually a few times. I have a very good friend of mine. He lives in Eindhoven in Holland.
Okay.
So sometimes when I go to Holland, we drove to Brussels like a few times, and it's amazing. I love Brussels, amazing city.
Your friend is Dutch speaking? Because I'm Dutch speaking, Flemish speaking. So in
But
Belgium we have French speaking and Flemish speaking, and
I
I'm
see.
one of those Flemish speaking guys. Yeah.
No, actually, he's not, but he's living in England in Holland for so long that he can speak Dutch as well. But I have other friends. They are originally from they are Dutch, like originally from Holland,
Mm-hmm.
and they can understand Flemish as well.
Yeah, it's almost the same. It's almost the same language.
So
You
you were
live in
born there?
London, right?
I do. I'm originally from
Oh,
Brazil, but I've been living in Europe for the last 20 years. Can you imagine? Oh my God.
wow.
I've been in Europe more longer than I've been in Brazil. Can you imagine how crazy?
Well, let's yeah.
What do you do for a living, Martin?
I work for Belgian government tax department. It's not the most sexy job, I would say,
Wow.
but it's actually I can see it from my balcony where my office is, and now there's a lot of work from home as well, so it's pretty
Mhm.
flexible. I like that aspect, and also it's quite flexible job for traveling because there is I can take quite some time off, flexible, unpaid though, but that's normal, of course. But it's
Mhm.
more flexible than a private job, often where you have to negotiate with your boss. Or there it's very structured, I would say. Like the
I-
working for government is you can do this and this you can do not. There's no negotiation about what you can, but sometimes you have some advantages. There's some disadvantages, but one of the advantages is that I can take like a career break, or I can work half time, or I can have like a fixed day off during the week. So there are all kind of regimes. And once I found out that existed, I started traveling, and I think also that's where my traveling passion for traveling started. It just little by little started, and now it kind of got out of hand. Even I have to admit.
Amazing. And of course, I made a note here about your traveling. I was looking to your profile and I was like, oh my God, he got the best job in the world, like traveling around the world. I think,
Mm-hmm.
the experience, the knowledge, the everything that you get from those, the traveling, you're literally investing in yourself. I think traveling is about investing in ourselves, the culture, everything that you gain is just, nobody can take that from you. You know what I mean? Everything's
Exactly.
it's here. It's amazing. So during the journey, I'm going to explore a lot about your traveling, about your life, and also about your point of views.
Cool. Yeah.
Are you ready to go on a beautiful journey through your memories in life and to share your point of views?
Yes, absolutely. Let's go.
Amazing. Welcome to William and the Magic Box. So this is my best friend. Okay, full of random fun questions. I'm just going to play a song now just for us to relax a bit before the first question, okay?
Okay, great.
Right. Martin, before you start the game, during the journey, if it comes up a question that you don't want to talk about for some reason, you don't want to answer, always can change, okay?
Okay, sure.
By the way, I'm saying your name right, Martin?
Yeah, Maarten. I always say Maarten. Officially in Dutch, it's Maarten. But it's a good name to adapt. I can say Maarten, I can say Martin in French, I say Martin in Spanish or in Portuguese. So it's a good name. I always adapt it. So Maarten is perfect.
Martin. So how do you say again? How do I say again in your language? Martin.
Maarten. Yeah, Maarten. Like the last E is like not a strong one. Yeah.
Maarten. Amazing.
Yes.
Right. First question for you is, what is the biggest difference between you and your best friends?
Whoa, the biggest difference. You mean in personality?
Yeah.
Wow. It's a difficult question, because the fact that we are probably our best friends is because we have equal thoughts about life. And but what is the biggest difference? I think that most people still tend to know what they're getting into in life. You know, they want to have a plan, a fixed plan, and know maybe they don't always know what exactly, but they still like to know, like, okay, I want to be there in 10 years or in 15 years or even in 5 years. And for me, life is now, I don't even know what I'm doing. I have to admit, I don't know what I'm doing with my life. I'm just trying to enjoy every week, every month. I try to say yes to all kind of things that come up in my life, just like what we're doing right now. I don't know why I'm doing this. You know, just the question comes, I'm like, yeah, let's do it. We'll see, we'll see what happens. It should be fun. And so I think that's maybe the main difference. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And your best friend, they live as well in Brussels?
Yeah, I don't like I don't like the concept of best friend. I don't know if I have one best friend. When you're like traveling out like me and my lifestyle, it also changes. Also, Brussels is a place with many international people. People come, people go. But if I think about best friends for the moment, what was the question again? Sorry.
The biggest difference between you and friends, the biggest difference. So the other part was, if your best friend, they live in Brussels as well, like your close friends, they are based in Brussels.
Yes. Well, I have also good friends abroad. It's different style of friends. Those are friends that you know, when you see them, maybe you don't see them often, the ones that live abroad, but you immediately, you trust each other. You will do everything for each other. It's a different kind of friendship. But I would say that my best friends probably live in Brussels. Yeah.
Okay. Next question. Let's do it. Okay, next question for you is, so far, what is the happiest day in your life?
Wow, so many difficult questions. The happiest day in my life. Ooh.
Or the latest, something that you think, okay, that was one of the happiest days so far.
Yeah, I know happiest is maybe not the right word, but like I would say more like a most amazing day. Like the last moment I can remember is like last June. I cycled from Brussels to Ukraine for charity, in support of Ukraine, in support of medical supplies for the people in Ukraine, and just arriving with my bicycle at the border, so between Poland and Ukraine. That feeling was like felt so special, and then I feel like I feel alive as well. Those moments, that's what I want to feel actually in life. I want to feel alive. I want to feel emotions. I want to feel not important, but some kind of like the daily life feels like it's not enough for me, and I want to experience things, and I like to feel emotions. They can be up or down, you know. My worst fear in life is to have like emotions like this, you know, like a straight line. That's I don't want that. I prefer to have it like a wave, you know. You have the good times, you have the bad times, because I think that's when at least for me, then that's when I feel most alive. So that was one of those moments when I arrived there at the border. It felt a bit surreal. It felt amazing. It felt, I don't know, there were so many emotions at the same time, and it felt amazing as well. I don't know if I could call it the happiest day of my life, because I also find happiness a bit a difficult concept. But it was like something I will never forget, that feeling and the moment. And yeah, so I hope that's an answer to your question.
What a beautiful gesture, Maarten. And tell me the experience, like how long did it take for you to get there and how long did you stay there?
Yeah, so I think from here to the border with Ukraine. I went through, so from Brussels, so started in Belgium. I went through a part in the Netherlands, Germany, Poland, and then you're at the border. My part of my trip was also to show people that it's not that far, because people certainly in the start of the conflict, the war, people thought, oh, it's something far away from us. But when you cycle it, it was just 2 weeks of cycling. So then you realize as well, it's right next doors. It's not that far away. So 2 weeks, and then I went to Lviv, the city of Lviv, which is not that far from the border with Poland. I met some friends there, and then I cycled 2 more days within Ukraine. And then actually I decided to take a night train to Kiev. And the brother of a friend of mine was still there, and he showed me a bit around, and we went to some, like at that time the Russians already left Kiev, but there was still a lot of damage, and yeah, there were still bombs coming, and there were rocket alarms and stuff like that. So it was very impressive to experience that, to see it with my own eyes, to see how people live there. But actually life, not less normal, but life goes on. You know, people were still there. Bars were open. You could grab a coffee. It's kind of surreal experience. So everything looks normal, but you know it's not normal. You know, and now it's even worse. So now they have like electricity cuts and stuff like that. So I have quite some friends there. So I'm always keeping up with the situation, what's going on there.
Wow, wow. My God, I'm so glad you shared this experience. That people now around the world watching this interview, they're gonna appreciate and understand a little bit more about, as you said. Sometimes you think that's so far away, yeah, but it can close. It's just a matter of how we approach the situation, how we approach the experience.
Exactly. Yes.
Wow. Next question.
All right.
Before the next question, Maarten, tell me about your passion about traveling. Tell me how everything started.
Well, yeah, I think it started when I was younger. Actually, in my teenage years, I was not a traveler at all. I was just going, the typical family holidays with my family, or even with some friends. We went for a weekend somewhere, or we went to the beach like for a week. But I wasn't really like an adventurous traveler. I don't really know how it started. I think it started with doing couch surfing. I don't know if you know this website. That's where you can there's like a community of people who are letting travelers sleep at their place, or you go to sleep at someone else's place for free. And I like this about the concept. There's no money involved. This is all an exchange of culture and experiences. And that way, I think I started traveling first within Europe, and then also more out of Europe. And then with the job that I'm doing now, when I found out that I can like take sometimes even months off, I started doing that. And then I started exploring more. It also gave me the opportunity to explore in a different style, like more slowly. So there's no more pressure to quickly have to see things. So I could take it more slowly. And so now I don't even call it holidays anymore. For me, it's not a holiday. It's part of my life to just sometimes be in another country and experience how life is there. So it's kind of got out of hand now with now for the moment I'm like working half time, and more or less traveling half of the time. And for now, for me, time is more important than more money, I would say. I know it's a privilege to be able to be in that situation, but for now, I don't need more money. I prefer to have more time to do things that I like, and for me, that's seeing different parts of the world, and preferably in a way of slow travel. Just like cycling is also a way of slow travel, I like to do hitchhiking, or just I stay for a week at the same place. Sometimes I'm not even doing much. I'm just doing some running there. I'm going to some restaurant. Maybe I try to meet some people. So not like a touristy things, but just like living a bit there. I like that kind of feeling and experience.
Absolutely. And that's how you get to see better the culture, you know what I mean? Like living there as part of their community as well, without thinking that you are a tourist. You're just kind of, take day by day and just living as the way they do.
Yeah, sometimes I'm also a tourist, sometimes I also go to Taj Mahal in India, and I go to the Eiffel Tower. When I'm there in Paris, of course, I want to see the Eiffel Tower as well, So I'm not saying that it's always like that, but I try to find a good balance and combination. And I like the nature as well. I also like to go hiking and go running, and so I like a combination. But also like the cities. I'm more like a city person. Like I like to live in Brussels, because then you have, like, even when I'm traveling for a longer time, after some time, I like to stay a bit in the city, because there you have everything nearby. You have restaurants, you have different bars, you have all the shops, you have more options to meet people often as well. Public transport is easier to get around. So yeah, sorry, yeah.
Okay. Next question is, what things do you consider to be relationship deal breakers?
Wow, like you mean a romantic relationship?
Yeah, the relationship. What do you think are the big deal breakers?
The big deal breakers. First, smoking or drugs. That's not. Yeah, if that's nothing that I want to be. Well, I just don't like the smoke of smoking and the smell, and find it pretty dirty. Yeah, so that would be that's the first thing that comes to mind for me as a deal breaker. And then also I like to have an active lifestyle. So I don't know if it's a real deal breaker, but yeah, if someone is not like that, I think it would be very hard to combine it. Yeah. And then I don't know if, probably for me, there are not many deal breakers, but I don't know who wants to be with a person who's never at home. So maybe probably that's a deal breaker for many other people, So I don't have any relationship right now, and I didn't for already a while now, but I'm so busy as well. So just like everything in life, I see what comes my way, and I don't feel any pressure, and no one is pressuring me as well, luckily. So I don't really think about deal breakers, but okay, if you ask me deal breaker, then it's probably smoking and stuff like that. Yeah.
I see. Okay. The message is out there.
I hope it didn't come off too harsh.
No, not so. It's just about being honest. The show is about being honest and about express yourself. That's how what matters.
It came to my mind because I was on Bumble a bit, and yeah, there was someone smoking, and I was like, nah, yeah, okay, that's difficult. That's difficult. Yeah.
Next question. Let's do it. Hey, Maarten from Belgium. Next question is, what do you like the most in your best friends?
What do I like the most? Their open spirit, their especially their minds are open. They're open for other cultures. Most of my friends as well are like not Belgian. They live in Brussels, but they are from somewhere else. And the fact that they already left where they're from to live here and work here, that already proves for me that they're kind of open-minded, and their way of life is maybe different from a more traditional way of life. So yeah, the open mind, also they accept my way of living, because it's not that easy. I also come and go in their life sometimes, so I really appreciated that they accept me to have a friend like that. But it's always cool to see them again. I like to go for lunch or for dinner with them, and then we discuss what's going on in their life and what's going on in my life. And But then the conversation, that's for me the most important with my friends, that we can talk about everything. We don't have to agree, but they have to be open-minded to, and they are, to be talking about every subject, and we can learn a lot from each other. And just as we're traveling, I think through friends, just as we're traveling, we learn new things. They changed me. My friends have changed me. If I look back at how I was 10, 15 years ago, I've changed a lot, not only physically, but also in my head. Same with traveling. Traveling makes you judge people much less, because you learn that, because when you're here, you always look from the glasses from here, from this perspective. But when you travel, you notice that there's so many other perspectives, and we cannot just judge from our glasses about how they see and how they act in life. So just this with my friends, they learn me to have a different view on things, because the countries where they're from, or their families, or even themselves, they have other views. They grew up differently. So that's what that's what I appreciate the most about it. Yeah.
And saying that, how was growing up in Brussels? Do you think that it changed a lot the city, or you always felt like the same vibe as you feel right now? As you said, there's so many people from the other countries live in Brussels. So it's always been this way? Do you remember as a child?
Well, I grew up outside of Brussels, so more not that far from here, but still it's very different, because it was more like a small town feeling. I would say that I had more quite traditional, typical Belgian. Like I have Belgian parents, I have no international influence there. But now here in Brussels, I'm a minority, actually, because it's such an international city. I'm already a minority as Belgian here, and as being a Flemish Belgian in Brussels, it's a minority. But that's a feeling that I kind of like, because it's just like traveling. There's so many things to discover. There is everything you can find in Brussels, and so that's very different from how I grew up, where you always went to the same restaurant, you always saw the same people in the street, you went to the same like a local community house. I don't know how you call that building, where they had like little parties, and they're always the same people. You'll go to the same bakery, the same supermarket every time. Here you can go every time to another place, and there are new places coming and going. But even when I was living grew up outside of Brussels, we came to, because my grandmother was living in Brussels, for example. And yes, things have changed quite a bit. I think it has become even more international, definitely. But yeah, I know I'm at a different stage in my life now. So when as a child, it's hard to compare, because now I'm also a different person. Now I like to now I live really in the center of the city, which I love, because I can go out. Before I had to take a train, it takes 1 hour. It was like an event to come to the city. Now I live in the city, so it's a different experience. So I think, yes, probably things have changed, but I don't think that it changed in a crazy way, or just like every city has evolved during time.
Okay, next one. Hey, next question for you is, tell me, what is the silliest thing that you have posted online on social media? Something very silly. What was
it? The silliest?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Oh my God, the silliest thing. I think it must have been during the lockdown. I think I started posting some TikTok challenges, some videos. I don't know, I was playing around with it. I don't know, it was like silly. I don't know, it was like, I remember there was like one video where you could make like the illusion that I was here like this with my hand, and then there was an illusion that in another video that I was dancing on my own hand like this. that one just came to my mind. Probably still exists, that video, like in my first TikTok videos. Maybe there are many silly videos, because when I record videos for my Instagram and I'm traveling, I learn not to think too much about the videos and whatever. In the start, I wanted everything to be perfect, but you cannot do it. You just need to make the video and you put it out, and not worry about how you look, or I could have done this or this better. it's never going to be perfect. And in life, if you want it perfect, in the end, you get nothing done because you're never going to be happy with what's out. So you just need to put it out. So probably are many silly videos, but I always think better a silly video than a boring video.
Totally. I think people like us, they enjoy when they see people, the reality, not like, posing or, making, as you said, about perfection that does exist. And people like that. People like to watch those things where it's real, where they are, doing something silly or mistake or something, when people, they are being themselves. I think people like that.
Especially nowadays. I think nowadays everything is about
more than
authentic. And no, I think the really content that is like perfectionized and edited and everything, it's not doing that well anymore. Now people looking for authentic videos.
Yeah, totally. Next question, Maarten, let's do it. Before the next question, I'm going to ask one question in two parts, The first part of the question is, tell me one place that you've been, that you went like, okay, you've been so many places, I know it's going to be difficult, but tell me one place that you were very surprised about it, that you were like, okay, I wasn't expecting to be that beautiful or that special, or something that, touched your heart somehow, And the other part of the question is, tell me something danger that happened to you in your trip that you went like, oh my God, that was something scary. Could you share something?
Yes. Let me think. So first, one thing very, very long time ago, that was traveling to Ireland and Northern Ireland. I was so surprised to see the beauty there. And this is just in Europe. This is just near the UK. Northern Ireland is in the UK. So I was really surprised. I thought that to see a really beautiful nature, you had to go very far out to other continents. But it's a long time since I've been there. So maybe now, I don't know if it was because I didn't see much of the world yet. Probably it is super beautiful for sure. I don't know if I would still be the same way impressed now as I was back then. But at that moment, that really, really impressed me. So Ireland and Northern Ireland, with the whole Irish island, was really, 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 really impressive. And then, what was the second question? Sorry.
Something scary that happened to you, like in another country, something that you're like, oh my God, that was scary.
Scary, I try not to be scared because people are always scared for me when I'm traveling. It seems like, of course, they mean it in a good way. But probably the worst that happened to me was when I was staying for a month in Colombia. And I got drugged. And the thing is, I don't remember a lot about it because I got drugged. Apparently, they put something in my drink, and I will never really know what happened because I didn't pass out. That's the weird thing. So there are even video images of that. You can see me walking with those people who drugged me. But I'm walking. You can even see at me that there's something wrong with me. But I have no memory about what happened there. And of course, they stole my phone, they stole my money, they stole almost everything. And that was really, at that point, that was a really, really bad experience. First, because it's very weird. The feeling of, you don't know what happened. You lost total control of yourself. It's very weird feeling, and also practical. I didn't have my money anymore. I didn't have my phone anymore. I didn't know anything. I didn't even know when is my flight. I didn't have my flight ticket. It was so bad. And then I bought a new phone. I bought a local SIM card. But then I couldn't log in any of my email, nothing, because they said, okay, this is a new phone. You need to confirm by SMS. But I could not. It was horrible experience. So I'm actually the most afraid of this. I don't care about the money too much, but just the practical part. I couldn't access anything anymore. I didn't have anything anymore. It's just very unpractical when your stuff gets stolen. So that's what's also always my biggest fear when I'm traveling, that they will steal my phone or my laptop. Now I usually have my laptop and my phone. So if one gets stolen, I hopefully still have the other one so I can access stuff. But that time I only had my phone. And if that gets stolen, I could not even contact anyone anymore. I think Facebook was still working. I could just log in without the SMS. Luckily, otherwise I couldn't have contacted anyone. So that was definitely the most crazy, worst experience. And it also took some time later to regain confidence in strangers, I would say, in the people that I was meeting. It took a few days, even weeks, to regain the confidence, because I was feeling I couldn't trust anyone anymore at that point.
Wow, I'll tell you something now. I used to live in Rio de Janeiro a few years ago. I was already living in Europe, actually. I was living in Portugal, and I went to Rio de Janeiro for a few months to stay there for half a year. And I met someone there. This guy told me that he had exactly the same experience. He said to me, William, I remember I was in a bar, sitting with this guy talking to me. That was my last memory. He woke up like, I think 2 days or something like that. I mean, woke up, like go back to normal again. He was in his bedroom, in his apartment, and they took everything away. And the building where he was living was private. So there was a concierge, night concierge and everything. And the people said, you came with this person with you, and you look normal. Like, you look so normal. Everything you ask for your key, we went to your bedroom, everything was fine. And they saw the image, and they went to his bank account as well. And he gave the PIN number. They took all the money they could from his account. Like, he did, but the person was by his side.
Yeah.
And it was, as you said, again, it was a really horrible experience because, you know, he was drugged out, like didn't know what's happening. He was like unconscious, but he was literally doing what this person telling him to do. So yeah, in Brazil they call good night Cinderella this kind of crime. Yeah, they call good night Cinderella. They call. I don't know nowadays, but at the time I remember he was saying that you know, people there, they say good night Cinderella. It means that somebody just, you know, did that to you. And actually it can do worse as well. People, not just stealing, but they can do something bad to you. You never know. You know. So yeah.
Luckily, they didn't harm me physically or anything. Exactly.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
As far as I know, but I assume, yeah.
Okay, next question for you is, what makes you really angry?
Oh, what makes me really angry? Wow.
I cannot see you an angry person. Can you get angry easily or not?
I try not to. I try to cope in a different way with things. I could get angry. Of course, I could get angry. You mean on a personal, on a daily basis, or like in general in life, or? Let's
say the daily basis. What something happened for you today, or like they are in your usual daily basis that can get you angry?
Well, if I think about some of the last times I got angry, but it was more like inside of me. Like when I saw someone just throw garbage on the street. It's probably sounds a bit ridiculous, but
no,
you know, because I don't understand. There are a lot of garbage cans and everything around, and I couldn't understand. It's because that person there was no reason to do that. It's just not caring about anything, you know. Okay, and maybe you can think this person has other things going on in his life, but still, inside it makes me angry. But yeah, what can you do about it? It's difficult. Those things that made me angry inside, and you see, I even remember that. So because I don't understand it. I don't understand why. There's literally no reason, no advantage. Even for yourself, why would you do that? But that's a personal thing. Yeah,
totally, absolutely. And I'll be angry as well if I was by your side. I would go like, what? And depending, the person would go and say, why, you know what I mean? Depend. The person wouldn't approach someone and say something.
They could get aggressive, they get offended, and they get
never know. Yeah, because you never know.
I said something, and they were like, you're not my father, and this, and so you're not going to change the person probably. So you better, if you're really good, I picked it up and I put it in the garbage, and I'm like, okay, that's it. Yeah,
I did that once actually. I was on the beach somewhere, I'm not sure if it was Brazil or Spain, and I was walking. Where was it? I don't remember, but I found this. I was walking the beach and I found this piece of thing, and I was carrying with me all the time because I couldn't find like a bin, garbage or anything to put it on. So I was walking with that, and I was talking to a lady, and she said to me, "Why are you holding that?" I said, "Because I want to find something to put in the bin." So I was like, "Oh my God, that's so nice." I said, like, "Yeah," because I felt uncomfortable to live there. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So I just took it. And I was like, okay, I need to find it. And I was walking with the thing in my hand. It wasn't uncomfortable, but I couldn't live there. So I understand your point.
That's good. You're a good man. I won't get angry at you.
Say again?
I won't get angry at you.
Good. Ooh, at least.
But I've seen the same in India. I was on the train, and there were some really friendly old men, and they invited me to sit with them, and they were giving me some tea, so they were super friendly. And then I was like, it was finished. I was like, okay, I was looking around where to put this, but there was no garbage can. And the man, he just took it and he threw it out of the window. But I was not angry at that time. I was more like a bit kind of shocked.
Yeah.
It's a different feeling. It's a different country as well. It's a different.
Yeah.
Of course, they should not do it as well. But I think that's how they grew up, unfortunately. But that I also had to think of that. But there, I was not angry. It was more like kind of like, wow,
Yeah.
wow, yeah. How is this possible?
No, but it's true. Actually, sometimes it could be a cultural thing. Maybe for, as you said, maybe for them it's something like normal because maybe they don't understand or they never had the habit of, you know what I mean, keeping things in the right place. 3 questions left for you. Let's do it. Before the next one, tell me what you like the most about your job. And also the flip side, that's something that you find challenging. If you can talk, of course, if you can share.
Okay. What do I like most about my job is that I am in contact with quite some people. So what I'm doing is usually I answer questions about how to implement the legislation, tax legislation. So I'm getting many questions of many different people. Sometimes it's very complicated questions which can make it annoying. And then because we work for the government, people always expect an answer and a clear answer. And I understand it because the government, so they ask it to the government. They want. If I say I don't know, that's a bit difficult. So for my job, I like that part. Also, what I find very important is I have a very good. That's not the job itself, but I have a very good boss. So a boss who understands me, who knows me as well, and I've been working with him for like over 7-8 years, I think.
Wow.
Before this job, I was doing some different jobs, but I never stayed long because I don't know, I didn't feel good. It felt really bad. I had a conflict with the boss. I'm not good with a really bossy boss, you know, a boss that says, I'm your boss and you have to do this. So my boss is a strange word even. Like how does the person who is leading the team, he like when he asks me to do something, he asks me to do something. He doesn't tell me to do something. And I think that makes a big difference in leadership. You should ask people. You don't tell them what to do. He's there to help us. He's there to make sure that everything works well. He's not acting like a boss, and that's also a big reason why I enjoy working there. And he knows me as well, so he knows that now that traveling is important for me and all of that to feel good in life. So I'm basically never calling in sick or anything like that because I feel good in my life, because I know I have some freedom. I can do several things. So that's, I think, and I also think that's one of the most important things for me, to have a good working environment, to feel good, to stay there, because I know if I don't feel good somewhere, I will get frustrated, and then it builds up the frustration, and at some point it will like burst, you know, and then yeah, that's what happened in previous jobs. Sometimes I was like, fuck this, I'm leaving this, whatever, even though it was not a bad job, but I didn't feel good. So now I know it's very important to have a good person leading you that understands you and knows there is more in life than just the job, you know. There is he understands it, and that's important. Yeah.
And I can see him smiling right now watching this interview after those.
Yeah, who knows? Yeah.
Next question for you is, what's your ideal life look like?
My ideal life? Wow, that's a big question. I think my life is pretty good now. I have my job to earn money, a good job which I like. I don't hate going, because I'm afraid there are quite some people who don't like going to work, and I had that time in my life as well. Now I go relaxed to work, and that's how it should be, I think. So I don't mind going to work. I can travel a lot. I can do a lot of sports. I like living in Brussels now, which is only since 2-3 years. I love that. So I would say this is my ideal life. I cannot. Probably there are always things that can go better, but I don't know. Yeah, ideal life. It's a very good. I never thought about the ideal life. I also don't know if there's a sense of thinking about an ideal life, because we're probably never going to reach no one has an ideal life, you know. And even if you have an ideal life, it's just one point in time. You can no one can have an ideal life, you know. So for the moment, I'm pretty happy with my life, and I wouldn't change a lot even.
Amazing. You say about traveling. Tell me, where was the last travel that you did? Which country? And the last one, and the next one that you're gonna go?
Last week I was in Italy. I went to Pescara, Rimini, San Marino, which is a new country that I visited, San Marino. And then I went with a friend for 1 week into Sicily. We traveled around Sicily. Yeah, the weather was really nice, because here in Brussels it's raining, and probably the same in London, rain and clouds again. Not that cold anymore. That's already good.
Yeah.
And I'm actually going to Isle of Man next week.
Really?
You know? Yeah, so it's between Ireland and the UK. I think it's part of the UK, or at least it's part of Great Britain. I don't know. So I'm going there. I don't know what to expect. We'll see.
Great. 2 questions left. Let's do it. Hey, Maarten.
Maarten, yes.
There we go. Next question is, which question you don't have an answer for?
Which question is that? Okay. How to, I don't know, like when are you going to be happy, or how are you going to be happy? I find that a very I think that's a question, maybe that's a too deep question here, but I think that's a question that doesn't have an answer, because I think it's something that we try to find, but we will never reach it. And that's also a bit the point, I think, of it, that we try to find something all of our life, which we are probably never going to reach. Because also, if you reach it, then what? It's like, what you're going to do when you reach that point of happiness somehow. So that doesn't have an answer. Or what's the point of life? That's for me as well, that I don't see the points. I'm just trying to make the best of it, and try to have as many good experiences and feel the emotions as I talked about before. Yeah, I don't know, what do you think is the point of life, or what is the point of life for you?
For me, I think that the meaning of life, for me, the point of living, it's about you learning every single day. You'll be able to understand that you are here for a reason. You are here to learn, to make mistakes, to make memories, to do things that you feel proud of. At the same time as well, knowing that you're going to make mistakes, life is going to be up and down. You're going to feel very happy. At the same time, you're going to have some downsides, and understand everything is part of life. Everything is part of you building yourself. You need to go through those, those journeys for some reason. I think that's what I believe. Life is about for you to live life, you know what I mean? And be open-minded and be approachable and understanding as well, you know what I mean? So I think for me, the meaning of life is about living a life knowing that it's going to be up and down, and also be the most understanding, open that you can. Be open-minded, because it takes you you have no idea, being open-minded, being approachable, it can take you far away, you know what I mean? In a positive way. It can take you very far, because if you are open-minded, as you say about, living another culture, living another language, or understanding other people, that's about living. That's about yourself being approachable, knowing that there are rules, but maybe your rules is different of the other person's rules, and for you to adjust yourself to the place where you are, as you said about the gentleman threw up the thing, again, for you was a shock. You're like, oh my God, but maybe for him was something normal. And again, you are very good, because you adjust yourself to the place where you were. Of course, deep inside you could understand, but you're very clever. Said, you know what? Okay, first of all, they they were friendly with me. They were kind of, they were, you know, make you feel comfortable with the situation. So why would get angry with him with this situation? You know what I mean? It just was just a habit. Maybe he did without thinking, or maybe he didn't, again, he didn't understand. So that for me was about being approachable. It's about for you adjust yourself to the place where you are.
Totally agree.
Do you sign underneath my statement? Yeah?
Yeah.
Ready for the last question?
Yes.
Last question, let's do it. Before the last question, as you've been so many countries, have you counted already how many? I made a note here, 90 places or 90 countries you've been already so far?
Yeah, a bit more than 90 countries, yes.
Wow. Tell me, before the last question, there is a meaning for you, like in the end. I mean, when I say in the end, I mean, are you working like in a project, or you are just literally gain experience of traveling, or you are working on something? For example, I saw your website as well. Are you creating something like for the future, or you are just gain experiences?
Yes. I think at some point in my life, I was like, okay, my life now, it's good, everything is fine, but I want something more. I want something experience, something more interesting. That's also why I cycle to Ukraine and do things like that. And at some point I was like, okay, I'm going to try to visit every country in the world. And it's not like a race, so it's not a race, but I've learned that it's a good thing because it also makes me go to places I wouldn't go otherwise. Because now I say, okay, this is a country I haven't been to. I wouldn't go there because why would I go there? But I'm going to go anyway because I want to visit every country in the world. And those countries are sometimes the most interesting to see because they're not touristic. It's more local. Yeah. And you can, it's very different from touristic countries. And sometimes it's not. Sometimes you come there and it's not that special. I always find something interesting. There's always something to learn or something to see.
Yeah.
So that's, I would like to, and I because it's always fun as well to build something up somehow in life. So I also, because I'm also often traveling alone by myself. I also make some videos for Instagram, for TikTok, and I really enjoy doing that. And also that way I'm connecting to other people, and probably that's how you found me as well, I guess. So for me, it's also about the connections, because often people tell me, yes, but do you make money with this or that? And no, I'm not making any money with it, but it's not about the money for me neither. If I would ever make something out of it, okay. But I don't believe that I'm ever going to be able to make money while traveling with the traveling. Or if you do that, I think it's not that much fun and free anymore. For me, it's important that I can travel, that I can feel free, that I can travel the way I want it. And it always has to, the videos as well, everything I'm doing, it has to stay fun. Like I try to set up a website, but to be honest, I don't have time for it. So it's there, it's good, but I don't have time to put content on there. So maybe someday I will have more time to do it, and I will be glad to do it, but I don't want to feel the pressure of having to do something. So the first rule that I told myself is it has to stay fun. And it's good to build something. Yeah, it would be fun, but I don't know. Maybe for me, most important is that now I do this, and maybe in 1 year I want to do something totally different. Yeah, I have the freedom to do that. That's for me the best feeling. What's important for me, that I can always change my direction in life, and this makes me feel free, and that's what I need at this point in my life.
Amazing. I just think that you maybe could make some notes and one day maybe write a book of your experiences, or make like a memoir. Imagine a memoir of your experience. Amazing. Not just for people, but for yourself. You know what I mean? To keep for yourself.
True,
I think
absolutely. But I'm a terrible writer, so that's.
You can write with your camera. You can write with your pictures. You know what I mean? That's how you can do it.
Exactly. That's fun to look back at some videos or some. And also you make friends all around the world, and they're traveling as well, and then you meet them at another. I found that amazing that you meet one person one side of the world, and then you meet them again somewhere else. That's even crazy, and then you exchange the experiences. It's so interesting. And also to see back my videos, my pictures, for me those are digital memories, and it's so cool that at this point in our life, this time in the world, how do you say it, in time, we are there, that we can we can just save all of those images online in the cloud, and we will be able to watch back to them even in 20, 30 years.
Yes. Okay. Last question for you is, what can make you cry and what can make you really happy?
Okay, what can make me cry? It's the emotion. I have cried even when I came back from, especially when I was at a longer time at some place, and then I'm flying back home, and then I'm often, what I'm doing is I'm going back through all my pictures. I'm like looking at them, and I scroll, oh yeah, this, and then all the moments come back, and it makes me sometimes emotional, and I don't mind. I don't mind that it makes me emotional, because that's what I want to feel. I want to feel emotions, good and bad, and crying is a part of that.
Absolutely.
So that can be, or it can be a movie, a good movie. Like last time on the flight back, I got a bit like, I don't know, maybe emotional, yeah. And then I was just listening to some music, and there was a song from A Star Is Born. I don't know if you know this movie.
Yeah.
I like this movie a lot. I don't think it's the best movie, but somehow it brings me emotions. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna look if it's on the system on the plane. You know, they have these movies, and I was looking, and the movie was there, and I watched it. Wow! And then I was with the beautiful sunrise, I think, with the clouds. You know, when you're flying above the clouds. Next to me, it was that whole moment. Wow! I found that amazing. It was really emotional. Then I can get some tears. And what was the second part of the question?
And what can make you cry? I think you answer both of them. Both
Oh,
of them.
okay. Yeah. Many things can, and I like it. I'm kind of looking for those things that make me emotional. I can also be just somewhere sitting on a beach and watching the sun go down, and then just realizing that I'm there and how amazing it is, and see just the beauty of the moment. The beauty of the moment often I found can be very, very emotional. Just realizing and being grateful that I can be there at that time, at that point, and being grateful to have that in my life.
Good for you. Beautiful.
I wish it for everyone to be able to have that.
Amazing, amazing. Maarten, what ends yet? Let's play now the word association game, okay? I'm going to give away some words. Just tell one word that comes to your mind. Quick thinking, okay?
So I just have to say the first word that comes to my mind.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, I hope you are enjoying the interview. Before we do the word association game, don't forget to give a like, don't forget to share this video, and also don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Just click on the button right there. Thank you so much and enjoy the word association game. Okay. One word for money.
Time is more important.
Okay. Family.
Friends.
One word for love.
Also friends.
Life.
Short.
Sex.
Extra.
Okay. Politics.
People.
Religion.
Science.
Fear.
It's in your head.
Friendship.
Love.
Desire.
Passion.
Regrets.
Never.
Success.
It's personal.
Wish.
Act.
Happiness.
Unreachable.
One word for Brussels.
Home.
One word for Belgium.
One word for fries.
Interesting. And the last one now, traveling. One word.
People as well.
Amazing. Let's pretend now I'm going to meet your best friend for a coffee, and I'm going to ask your best friend, tell me the most beautiful thing about Maarten, and tell him something that he still needs to work on, to improve on. What your best friend would say?
Oh, wow. Hmm. I think the best thing probably he would say that I'm going with the flow, just having fun and go in the moment and not, even stay, not to be too grown up, you know. Sometimes you just have to let the inner child go and not care what other people think. And what I have to work on, many things probably, many things. Let me think. I would say even be even more open and like I easily get out of my comfort zone in general, but then when I'm at home, like where I'm now, I like everything like under control, you know. I want this there, and like I want to do couch surfing again, you know, that people come over and stay here, but some I just don't do it because I'm like, no, it's so comfortable, you know, when I'm here and I can do whatever I want and I don't have to look at anyone. But when there are people staying over, then it's different. I'm always happy when I do it, but the step to do it is sometimes a bit more difficult because then, you know, you're gonna give up your not comfort, but your control a bit, and you never know what kind of people are gonna be here. So that's certainly something to improve. And also I'm traveling a lot by myself. So for me, traveling with someone else, it can be a challenge for myself mostly, but maybe some for the other people as well. So it's something I want to improve as well. I want to get better at learning to, because when you're by yourself, you always do what you want. And it's harder then to adapt to what other people want to do. So I need to work on that, definitely.
Okay. Let's play now, Maarten and the Magic Box, and you can ask me a question. Okay, Maarten. But before you ask me the question, tell me what's your favorite Flemish word?
My favorite Flemish word?
Yeah.
Ooh. Pintje, een pintje.
Which means?
It's a beer, but we often, it's like a pint, you know, pint?
Yeah.
Pintje. We often use tje as like a smaller word, you know, like to make it cuter somehow. Not that the beer has to be cute, but somehow we always use this. We say this in an informal way. Pintje, frietje, kindje. We have so many things we put tje behind it just because it sounds more soft, maybe.
All right. You can ask me a question now.
All right. So William, tell me, what is the thing that excites you most in life, that keeps you going, that brings the energy, the fire into your life? I always think that we all need something like that, that it's beyond the regular thing in life, but that fuels our life and our energy.
I love the question, and the answer is very simple, very, very simple. But for me, it means the words, yeah? I'm going to be very honest to you, Maarten. The thing that makes me the happiest is when I wake up in the morning. I'm an early bird, yeah? I love waking up very early. And have no idea, even though if I'm tired, I haven't slept a lot sometimes, you know, like I didn't have my 7 hours, 6 hours sleep. But when I wake up, I know that I have a day ahead. For some reason, I feel so happy. I feel so happy that I'm blessed that it's another day starting. You know what I mean? And as soon as I leave the house, I go like, my goodness, it's another day. What's going to happen to me today? I'm going to make mistakes. I'm going to meet someone different, or I'm going to learn something new, or, you know, I'm going to cry, or I'm going to be happy, or something's going to happen. So it's so exciting for me. Since a young age, I remember like as a teenager, I remember like in the morning, I always been very excited. Even my friends, when they know me very well, they go like, oh my God, William, can I just wake up a bit? Can you give me some time to get myself, you know, because I always have this energy in the morning. I always had this, somehow I feel very energetic in the morning. So I even go to the gym early morning because for me, I know that I'm going to spend some energy there. And after I leave the gym, I'm exploding of energy because you get more energy. Yeah. So for me, it's so simple. And back to what you said before, I was when we were talking about life. And that's for me, it's the best part of what gives me this energy. It's about waking up every morning, and just knowing that something's going to happen to you, something good, something bad, something that you're going to understand, something that you're going to, is going to make you feel different or gonna feel sad for some reason or happy, or you're going to learn something new. And when I learn something new, for me, it's like, oh, yes, I got my days. I learned my day when I learn something new. It doesn't matter what. So yeah, it's simple. It sounds very simple, but for me, it means a lot. It means a lot for me to be able to wake up every day, and be healthy as well. I think health is something that, it's the only thing I ask every year, just to be healthy, to be able to, you know what I mean, to be able to keep going, because without health, you cannot do anything.
Exactly.
So it's simple, it's easy, but that's what makes me feel happy every single day. It's about waking up and starting a new day, knowing that anything can happen to you, anything. And it's so nice to know that, to feel that's, it can happen anything, it can be something good, bad, but it's going to have something in your day. So that for me is exciting. It's something, it's like a bless. It's something, and just the fact that we are here, knowing that, conscious about that, and go even more deeper. Sometimes I go like to my friends. I remember when I was working for Disney World, for Disney Cruise Line a few years ago in Orlando, in Florida. So I did a short contract in Disney. And I remember before I went, I was talking to a friend of mine and I was telling him, imagine the people that are going to cross my life there. Imagine the people that's going to, somehow I'm going to connect. I'm gonna make maybe friends forever. Maybe I'm gonna find a love there. You don't know. You know what I mean? It can happen anything. My friend said, "Oh my God, you were crazy." I said, "No, it's about that. You never know." And when I was there, I remember I made some friends, some Brazilian friends. I remember you were connected. Sometimes you connect straight away with people. Yeah, sometimes it's like magnets. And I remember when I started connecting with people there, and I was like, you know what? I was already grateful because I knew I would meet you somehow. I knew that you crossed my life. And I feel so happy now that we crossed, because I feel like I know you for ages, like for years. Do you know what I mean? It's about you understanding that, people going to come to your life and you never know. You might be meeting someone that's going to be forever in your life, or maybe it's going to just be for a minute or for a moment, and you're going to appreciate that moment. You're going to feel happy for that. So yes, that's for me. And I'm talking about, as you can see, I'm excited.
Yeah. I totally understand it, because when I'm traveling, that's also so many more things even gonna happen that day for sure, because you're in a new place, you're gonna meet new people. Also, the fact that sometimes I don't know a lot about that place, I find it exciting because I like to learn something new, to see something new. I don't like routine. So even here, when I'm walking in Brussels, I like to take different little new streets. I don't take the shortest route. I want to take a different street to see how it is there. And I like to go always to different new restaurant to try something new. So this indeed is that's the most exciting thing about life for me as well, to meet, to do new things, to experience something new. So I totally understand. And being the early bird, I'm not an early bird, but I'm so jealous of that. I wish I was. Somehow I don't manage to go to bed early, because early in the evening, because I never want the day to end. Basically, I always want to do so many things. I have so many things in my mind, so that makes that I cannot sleep early. So I cannot wake up early, because it's also important to sleep enough, I think. But I'm so jealous, because a few times I've woken up like after a jet lag, something like that. I woke up early, and then you do, and then it feels like amazing, because first in the morning, no one is bothering you. You can do whatever you want. Everyone is still sleeping, and you can do what you want. And this feels like you want time. You can, in that time, you can do what you want, and it's like time that I don't know. When I wake up, it feels like before I know it is already noon and evening, and time goes so fast. But when you wake up so early, it feels like extra time in your life. And you, indeed, if you do sports at that point, you feel so energetic. And also you feel like, okay, I've done my sports for that day. Everything else today is extra. Everything else is extra that day. So I'm very jealous of you being an early bird. I wish I could be like that at some point in my life.
But again, it's not the right or wrong. People, they have their own way of, you know what I mean? Some people, they wake up late and they still do a lot and they carry on, you know what I mean? It's not about that. I think it's about, you know, you adjust yourself and, you know, doing your things that makes you feel good about it,
Definitely.
yourself, about
Absolutely.
what you're living. And that's the biggest joy for me in life. The simplicity. I like the simplicity. I like a lot.
Nice.
Maarten, did you enjoy the interview?
Yes, William, very nice. Thank you. And then you're very open and smiley and a happy, open person. So it's like Brazilian, like most Brazilians actually. It's a typical Brazilian thing, right? To enjoy life and take it how it comes and be positive. Even in Brazil, many people their life is, we would at least perceive it as not that simple. People
Absolutely.
feel the music. I was in Rio last year. It's amazing. It's one of my favorite destinations. I definitely want to go back there. And the view over this, that's the best view I've seen ever. Like from the Sugarloaf Mountain.
Yeah.
Wow, it blows my mind still. That view, that city view, it is amazing. Wow. Yeah.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you taking your time to share so many experiences. And as I said before, people, they love that. People love seeing someone living their life to the fullest. And I think I'm so grateful that, you know, connect with you and see someone, you know, like your eyes shine and talk about your travels, about your, you know, your desires and everything. I think that's what life's about. It's about sharing experiences. So thank you very much for taking the time. But before you go, if you can share a positive message or something that you live by.
Oh yeah. Let me think. First of all, thank you, William. It was the pleasure was all mine. This talk, and it's very nice that we can talk about all the subjects with an open mind. I always love that type of talks. Yeah, in life, I would just say the most important thing that I would say is just go for it in life. Often people don't do things because they are afraid of what people will think of them, and that's what you need to let go, because it doesn't matter what people think. As long as I have a few rules. You don't take debts for what you, if it doesn't gonna, if you have the money, just do it. If I don't know, if you're healthy, you should do it now, and also not later. You don't know what's going to be in 5-10 years. Now is the moment. Just go for it. And as long as you don't put yourself in financial debt, or if you're not going to harm anyone, I don't see any reason why you wouldn't do something. You can always come back. Most of the times you can always come back and do your life, because in general, you're never going to regret in life what you did. You're always going to regret what you didn't try. And even if it doesn't work out, you tried, you know, okay, this is not for me, but it's always going to be an experience. I always say, even a negative experience is an experience. You're going to learn from it. You learn better for yourself what you want in life and what you don't want. So just go for it. That's what I would say. And especially not care too much about what people think. Because when you travel, you also meet so many different people.
Yeah.
First, when you're just going to work and you have maybe your friends from school, you're in a kind of closed circle, and you don't realize how many other types of people are out there. And often the people that surround you all have a bit the same beliefs. And I don't say they're bad, but they're just, it's a different lifestyle. And you sometimes think that you're the only one with a certain feeling, or you don't understand why you have it. But then when you start traveling and meeting other people, that's when you realize, okay, I'm not the only one like this. There are so many other people like that. And so sometimes you just have to jump in life, not care what people think, just go for it. Yeah, that's it. With anything in life.
If you feel scared, go feeling scared, because that's a good sign. If you're going to do something and you feel these butterflies in your tummy, it's because it's a good sign. If you feel scared, okay, that's a good sign for me to go it, because I'm feeling scared. Because if you don't feel anything, you know what I mean? It's not the right thing. So if you feel this, like, oh my God, should I go? Should I not? Go, because it means
exactly. Go for it. It should be exciting. It should be even uncomfortable. When it's too comfortable, it's time to do something, to try something new. Anything, actually anything. It's learn some. Like I want to learn the guitar. I wish I had more time, but that's something I would really love to do. Yeah. life is just about trying new things, learning new things, going. Yeah, just go for it.
Amazing. Thanks so much. It was a pleasure. And I see you anywhere in the world. You know, I might see you in Brussels. I might see you in Asia. I might see you in Brazil. I might see you in London. You never know. So I see you sometime somewhere. Okay.
I'll see you in Rio. We'll have a caipirinha.
Thanks so much, Maarten. It was a pleasure. Okay. Keep in touch. Okay.
Thank you, William. Thank you.
Bye-bye. Bye.
So, did you like the show? Don't forget to give a like, share it, and also don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And if you'd like to be part of the show as well, first, subscribe to our channel, and after that, just go to our website, www.williamandthemagicbox.com, and send us a request saying why you'd like to be part of the show. And I see you there. Bye bye, see you next time.